Okay, what I want to highlight is few important things today. Now, first of all, we shall, before we go for the exam, we shall know why do people pass this exam paper and why do people fail this exam paper. So you should be very, very clear. You should be very, very clear what are the key reasons why people pass, what are the key reasons why people fail. So if you know why people pass, you can do more of those. If you know why people fail, I'm sure you can do less of these. So if you know why people fail, I'm sure you can do less of those so that you can pass the exam paper. Now, who will know why people pass? Who will know why people fail? That is why SEMA is issuing an examiner's report after each and every exam. That is exactly why SEMA is issuing an examiner's report after each and every exam. In the SEMA global discussions, examiner's report is given a very high priority. There's a process how the examiner's report is written. There's a very strict rules of writing the examiner's report, how the examiner, because there are many markers available. There are many markers available. So all the markers, there is a very good system where marker will give the feedback to the final examiner's report. There's a strong controls that is there. So therefore, this examiner's report is very important report that is available. This examiner's report is very important report that is available. Now, so let me type the word examiner's report. So there are different words used. Sometimes we call it post-examiner's report. Sometimes we call it examiner's report. All that. Those who have gone through this examiner's report, can you say yes? Those who have not gone through this examiner's report, can you say no? It doesn't matter, right? If you're not going through, that's okay. If you're not going through, that's okay. If you're going through, you can say yes. If you're not going through, you can say no. Quickly feedback. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Very good. So let's quickly look at what this report looks like. Now I'm trying to before I open examiner's report, I'm trying to show you a summary of the examiner's report. I'm not trying to go to a very specific examiner's report and spend a lot of time. No, you have exams soon, so you need to be kind of going for exams. Therefore, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to take a summary of it. Let's see what the summary is. Now, this is an examiner's report. If you can, as you can see from the 2015 syllabus. So there's a old syllabus. These are not the new syllabus. These are the old syllabus, 2015 syllabus. So this is why students fail based on the post-exam review. Oh, sorry. I'm very sorry. The arrow is going all over the world. I'm sure I can sort it out, right? So based on the post-examiner's review of 2015 syllabus, why people fail based on 2015 syllabus. However, in the 2015 syllabus, there were many exam papers. I selected November 2017. I selected November, randomly selected. These are the reasons why operational level students fail. These are the core 5 reasons why operational level students fail. Right? These are the core reasons why operational level students fail. So by the way, this is the, right? These are the key reasons why operational level students fail. So can I go through this? Operational level students, why do they fail? Operational level students, why do they fail? Core theoretical area have not been gone through. Core theoretical areas. So which means if there is a manageable theoretical areas will excuse you, but the core theoretical areas you can't not know. Task being missed. Wow. Task being missed. What do you mean by that? There is an exam requirement, you have missed the exam requirement, not you. The people who did this exam before, not you. You guys are great, right? These are the stupid people who did the exams before. Candidates ignoring a question thinking it's not important. Huh? Candidates ignoring a question thinking it's not very important. Ignoring reference material and additional information. Answers being insufficiently described. Answers being insufficiently described. So now, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to look at these reasons again. Now, theoretical knowledge, uh, gaps in the core theoretical knowledge, I understand, right? That's a matter that we can manage. Well, that's a matter we can discuss separately. But task being missed, candidate ignoring a question thinking is not important. These two, I don't know. How are you sure? People miss a task. Candidate ignoring question thinking is not important. I don't think it will ever happen, but examiner is saying so. So please trust me, in SEMA process, each marker has to fill the form, give the supporting evidence of the mark, what markers are saying, what markers are saying based on the exam papers. All these evidence is checked and comes to the examiner, then examiner write the final report. So this is not, don't think this examiner is writing the final report without looking at your papers. Or don't think that examiner has misunderstood. No, examiner knows what she is talking about. Then there is another one in middle, if I may say so, ignoring the reference material and additional information. Additional information is ignored. Then the last one, answers being insufficiently described. Answers being insufficiently described. So these are the core reasons why people fail. In 2015, old syllabus, don't worry, old syllabus, right? So now, I don't know whether you understand these 5 reasons carefully. Can you read these 5 reasons carefully so you might get a better view about it? Go and read these 5 reasons carefully so you might get a better view about it. Now, don't forget, when examiner says ignoring the reference material and additional information, students are mad. They have not gone through the reference material. I have given so much of additional information in the unseen exam paper. Students are ignoring them. Students are ignoring them. Do you know what the real reason? Do you know what the real reason? Yes or no? No one like you go to the exam, read the reference material and decided to ignore. You don't do that, no man. Do you? You're not rude, no. You don't read the reference material and decide to yourself, the information given by the examiner in the reference material, I don't want to use. I'll ignore them. It doesn't happen like that. You don't do that, right? You're not that bad, right? What happens is you don't realize one of the most important things on the exam day for you to pass this paper. Examiner love to see you use the information given in the reference material. Examiner love to see the information that you have given information that examiner has given in the unseen are being used to build your arguments. Examiner love to see if a student is taking the information from the unseen, if a student is taking the information from the reference material, and if those informations are effectively being used in the student's answer to form the justification, to form the opinion, to answer the question, if they are being used, examiner loved it. Examiner feel, wow, all the information that I have given has been very effectively used to formulate the opinion as we have asked from the student, to justify the opinion given by the student. They have been effectively used. Examiner love to see it. Examiner love to see it. You don't do that. So this is what I call lot of answer points can be taken from the unseen and lot of answer points can be taken from the pre-seen. Lot of answer points can be taken from the pre-seen and unseen. Lot of answer points can be taken from the pre-seen and unseen. And you don't do that. So good that we are meeting today, right? Good that we are meeting today. Just do it now. This is a big problem but can be fixed easily. This is a big problem and can be fixed easily. You understood what you mean by that? Big problems can be fixed easily. Can you think about problems like that? Can you think about in your personal life, big problems can be fixed easily. Big problems can be fixed easily. Think about a big problem that can be fixed easily. They are big problems, but can be fixed easily. Sometimes you have your arguments with your parents, right? Sometimes you have arguments with your father and mother. Arguments. You have arguments with your father and mother. Anyone who has arguments with your father and mother, just say yes. No, I'm not going to come and ask you why, right? You can say yes. If you had, or if you have no arguments at all, you can say no. So tell me yes or no, yes or no, yes or no. I'm not going to go to courts against you, huh? I'm just asking. Okay. When you have arguments with your father and mother, they are big problems. But they can be fixed easily. What do you mean they can be fixed easily? I used to have arguments with my father about politics. I like one political party. He likes another political party. Whenever I meet him, I used to go for an argument. One day I realized I should not have arguments on the matters that do not matter. I mean, who cares who is going to win, the which political party is going to win? Who cares? Why should I have an argument with my father on the things that it doesn't matter? It doesn't matter though. Who is going to come to power? It doesn't matter. Between my father and myself, it doesn't matter. Let him win it. It's more important to have a nice relationship with the people around than within the argument. Whenever you avoid the need to win the argument, your bigger problem will get resolved. So one day you need to realize people are people. Your father and mother are package. 80% they are very good, 20% they are bad. 80% they are very good, 20% they are bad. 20% they are bad. That 20% don't try to correct. They have few features that they have few features that you don't like, right? They do few things that you don't like. That's the 20% of theirs. There's 20% you don't like. Don't try to correct it. Live with it. Forget about it. Don't talk about 20%. Think about 80%. Don't talk about 20%. Forget about it. Whatever the stupid things that they do, just forget. Don't try to win the arguments. There are things that do not matter. What matters is your relationship with them, whether you are happy, whether they are happy. Forget about all that. So it's a big problem. Can be fixed easily. Can be fixed easily. So it's outside the syllabus, by the way. Not that it will come for the OCS exam. Therefore, I want to finish it and go to the OCS. I want to finish it now. Are you clear? Okay. So therefore, I'm trying to finish it. So this is what I call 20%. That's what I call 20%. Everyone is a package. 20% of your features of your father and mother, you don't like it. Don't try to fix that. Don't try to educate them and say, this is wrong, what you're doing is wrong, this is the right way to do that. Don't do it, forget about it. Right. So I'll try to go to the OCS asking question. Is it useful? Do you think that 20% rule that your father and mother is a package, so don't try to correct their mistakes? Is it a useful thing to hear? Yes, no, yes, no. If you say not useful, I agree. If you say useful, also I'm happy. Okay, come back. This is a big problem that can, now forget about the father and mother now. Huh? This is a big problem that can be fixed easily. Exam, on the exam day, lot of answer points can be taken from the pre-seen, lot of answer points can be taken from the unseen. We just forget to take those points into your answer. Examiner gets mad. Examiner gets angry. This has been given as one of the reasons why people fail. This has been given as one of the core reasons why people fail. So I want to, maybe this is in the 2015 syllabus, maybe in 2020 people have improved, but still, let's ensure we don't do those mistakes. Therefore, please remember, a lot of answer points can be taken from the pre-seen, a lot of answer points can be taken from the unseen. Therefore, what I tell my students is, in the unseen, there are answer points available. They are talking to you. They are saying, look here, I'm an answer point, pick me up, pick me up. I'm a good answer point, pick me up, take me up, and put it to your answer. We continue to ignore them and say, go to hell, we don't want your point. Bad mistake. On the exam day, one of the critical things that you need to do, write down somewhere. Information in the unseen, double check everything, how can they be used in your answer? Write down. Information in the unseen, double check everything, how can they be used in your answer? Information in the unseen, double check everything, how can they be used in the answer? There's this percentage is given, no, in the reference how can I use it? They're saying that this was in the newspaper article. How can I use this newspaper article? There's a CEO statement given, no, how can I use it in the answer? You need to use them in the answers. If you trust me, if you believe me, I don't need to prove it. I don't think I should go and prove it. Please, please, please do that. Other biggest problem is people forget about the pre-scene on the exam day. They write answers for the question given. They write answers for the question given. If you think, what was given in the pre-scene related to this? What was given in the pre-scene related to this? If you started to think like that, you realize a lot of information about this organization you are aware because they are available in the pre-scene. You need to use them properly. Now, recently, I work as a CEO of Dankutu Porcelain PLC, as you may know. I work as a CEO for Dankutu Porcelain PLC. Recently, there was a discussion. There was a discussion in the boardroom. There's a customer complaint. Customer complaint. So I was asking, look, these customer complaints, we can't run with those. We need to find a way to eliminate those. How is the level of customer complaint? People were saying various different things. And all of them forgot to tell me. I knew it. So I was waiting whether someone will say that or not. But then no one told me. Everyone forgot the fact that we have a mystery shopper audit done. You know what a mystery shopper audit is? Mystery shopper audit is, we pay a company, they will come into the showroom like shoppers and they'll try to buy things. They will see how our people behave, the cleanliness, items are displayed, the prices explained, product are explained, showroom staff are helpful, and that report comes. Once in 6 months, that report comes. We should have gone and see that report. So I said, look, why are you wasting time? Why can't we see the last mystery shopper report? Then everyone said, good method, can we see it? Same thing happens on the exam day. So did you realize my practical experience? I don't know whether you realize, right? So mystery shopper report, people forgot. When we were talking about whether when we are talking about customer complaint, we should have used the mystery shopper report. And all of us in the boardroom, very senior people, forgot to mention that there's a mystery shopper report available that you should have checked. Okay. That example, how it can be applicable for the exam, how it can be applicable for the point that I'm trying to raise, Did you understand or did you not? Did you see the link between what I'm saying or you did not? Did you see the link between that I'm saying or you did not? Those who understood can say yes. Or those who are thinking, why you are talking about mystery shopper's report? We are not talking about mystery shopper. Why you are talking about mystery shopper's report? Our case study has not a mystery shopper report. You understood? I'm very happy. My God, these are very good set of students. I should have done more classes for you. So if you understood, I'm very, very happy. If you understood, what I meant was, in real world, we forget to use the information that we have. In real world, we forget to use the information that we have. On the exam day, you forget to use the information that is available in the pre-scene. The mystery shopper report should have been available in the pre-scene on the exam day concept. And people forget it. So that happens in the real world, my dear. That happens in the real world. That happens on the exam day. So always my guideline is, whenever you read the unseen first paragraph, think yourself, talk to yourself and say, what was mentioned in the pre-scene related to this? What was mentioned in the pre-scene? Read the second paragraph, then you ask a question. What was related to the pre-scene? What was given in the pre-scene related to this? When you read the exam requirement, ER, you know what ER is? ER is exam requirement. When you read the exam requirement number 1, you ask, what was given in the pre-scene related to this? Always you should ask what was given in the pre-scene related to this, what was given in the pre-scene related to this, what was given in the pre-scene related to this. Most cases, there will be certain things that you need to take. So guideline number 2, always when you read the unseen and ER, when you read the unseen and ER, think what was given in the pre-scene related to them. Think what was given in the pre-scene related to them. Think what was given in the pre-scene related to them. Use them in your answer. Use them in your answer. Use them in your answer. Then only one of the examiners told me long years ago, look here, these students' answers are very, very standard answers. We don't like. We want answers that are specifically catered for this particular organization. We want answers that are specifically written for this case study. That's what examiner told me. Same complaint because you're not using the information from the pre-scene, you're not using the information from the unseen, your answers look standard. Examiner do not like standard answers. Examiner knows answers that are written for this specific case study. Examiners do not like answers that are standard. You need to use information in the pre-seen and unseen to show to the examiner the answers are related to this case study. Write the point number 3. However, point number 3 is a combination of point number 1 and 2. Point number 3 is a combination of point number 1 and 2. Therefore, please write down as point number 3. Right? Do not write standard answers on the exam day. Do not write standard answer. Point number 3. Do not write standard answers on the exam day. Do not write standard answers on the exam day. Always show to the examiner. Always show to the examiner. Answers written are. Always show to the examiner. Always show to the examiner. Always show to the examiner. Answers written are specifically written for this situation and this case study. Answers written are specifically written for this situation and this case study. This situation is what's given in the unseen. You need to show that answers are written to the situation given in the unseen, this situation and this case study, and based on the answers are written based on the unseen and the pre-seen. You need to show that always. You need to show that always. Okay. So that's the first 3 points that we need to say. So examiners don't like standard answers. Examiners like the answers that are uniquely written for this situation, right? So maybe you can say don't say products, say what the products are. Don't say CEO, give the name of the CEO. Don't say for the company, give the name of the company. Those tricks also will matter. So this is what you mean by ignoring the reference. Not that you ignore, you forgot to use it. Not that you decide to intentionally ignore. All right. Candidates are missing the exam requirements. Wow. How? How you go to the exam and miss the exam requirement? No. What happens is either you miss the exam requirement or you misunderstood the exam requirement. Mostly the first and second both are happening. First and second both are happening. People miss the exam requirement or misunderstood the exam requirement. Examiner think you are not written the answer for the exam question given. You are written something else. Actually, what happens is you have written the exam, you have read the examiner's requirement, you misunderstood, you write something else. Examiner think you are not written. Now I have been marking case study exam papers every year. I don't know, 400 papers every year. This is one of the biggest problems available. Exam requirements are misunderstood or exam requirements are missed. What do you mean by missed? What do you mean by missed? Missed means what? How do people miss the exam requirements? Tell me a few answers. How do people miss the exam requirements? How do people miss the ERs? How do people miss the ERs? How do people miss the ERs? Yeah, okay. Okay. Samir? Zaid Zamir? Yes. Not reading the questions properly. Few other people? Can you give me how people miss the exam requirements? How do people miss the exam requirements? You go to the exam and do something else. You go to the exam to answer exam requirement, no, my dear. You go to the exam to answer the exam requirement. How do you miss the exam requirement? I don't understand. Do you? Do you? Do you? Or you don't? Misunderstood the term they are asking. Rasanka. Yeah, something else. When ER asks one subtask, that's what. Not to understand question, rather writing something here. No broad there. No. Wrong. Let me tell you. What happens, my dear friend? This is my experience. Huh? When we read answers, people miss the exam requirement. You know what people miss? These are question. These are question. These are question. Can you use value chain analysis to analyze the organizational activities and let us know the weaknesses of the model as well? Can you use value chain analysis to analyze the activities of the organization and let us know the weaknesses of this model? Which question people miss? Which question people miss? First question or second? First question or second question? Which question people miss? People never miss the first part. And first part is the elephant in the room, no? I mean, sometimes we miss the elephant in the room. But the first part is so clear, very, very clear, so clear, very, very clear. Second part they miss. There another question. We have decided to go into a new country and set up our operations. We have decided to go into a new country and set up our operations. Can you please advise the risk faced by the organization in trying to set up operations in a new country and solutions for them? And solutions for them. We are trying to go into a new country and set up our operations. Can you please advise the risk available in going to a new country and setting up an operations and solutions for them? Which part do people forget? Which part do people forget? Which part do people forget? Good service. Which part that do people forget? Solutions. That's the case. That's the case. They miss the second part. They miss the second part. Not that. So always on the exam requirement, please look at whether you covered all. Right? What is the other question that people missed? Which question people miss? Please answer this question. Which question people miss? Which ER missed? Which question people missed? Which question people missed? You think I'm unfair, no? You think I'm unreasonable? You think I'm asking a question that cannot be answered? You think this guy is mad? But think, I can't be entirely bad, no, my dear. I can't be, I'm mad, but I can't be entirely mad. Which question people missed? Which question people missed? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to give you 5 minutes to answer. Write some answer. I'm going to give 5 seconds to answer. I forgot. Write some answer. Which question people missed? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exactly. People miss the last question. People miss the last question. Are they rude? Are they rude? No, they're not rude. Why do they miss the last question? Time. Third question people miss because time. Oh, people answer only half of the third question. Second part of the third question, people anyway miss it. Second part of the third question, people don't answer generally. They miss it. When there is 3 questions in a section, people miss the third question. People miss at least the most part of the third question. So let's do the maths now. Let's do the maths and write down the guideline. Okay. How many minutes are available for a section? Quickly answer. 1, 2, 3. You should answer very fast. How many minutes are available for section? 45 minutes. Okay, very good. Second question. On the exam day, you are doing 3 activities. On the exam day, you are doing 3 activities. Right? Let me tell you what the 3 activities are. Reading, thinking, typing. Are you clear? You are doing 3 activities on the exam day. Reading, thinking, typing. You are doing 3 activities on the exam day. Reading, thinking, typing. Are you clear? Reading, thinking, and typing. Reading, how many times you need to allocate to read? How many times do you need to read? Quickly. 5 seconds. 1. How many times you do you read? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Maximum about 7 minutes. General people will read the questions in 7 minutes. General people will read the questions in 7 minutes. Right? Then you have thinking. So what do you mean by think? I think you understand what thinking is. No? Thinking means planning the answers, thinking, right? Thinking will generally take 12 minutes. Thinking will generally take 12 minutes. So how many minutes are available? So let's say 7 plus 12 is 19. Let's take as 20. Typing, how many minutes available therefore on the exam day? How many minutes available on the exam day? Typing is 25 minutes. if there are three questions, on the exam engine, what time is appearing on the exam engine? Right top hand corner. The time that you used or remaining time? On the exam day, when you do the exam paper, what time is appearing? Time remaining or the time that you have already used? What time is shown? Remaining time is shown. Remaining time is shown. Are you using it effectively? In the sense, whenever you type, you should be looking at the remaining time and taking some decisions. Are you doing that? When you type, you should be looking at the remaining time and taking decisions. When that means whenever there are three questions available, listen to me carefully. Whenever there are three questions available, approximately 8 minutes needs to be allocated for the last question. Therefore, when the remaining time is 12, what you should be thinking? When the remaining time is 12, you should be thinking, remaining time is 12. Now I am answering the second question, then what you should be thinking? Remaining time is 12 minutes. Now you are answering the second question. What you should be thinking? Remaining time is 12 minutes. Now you are answering the second question. What you should be thinking? No, you can't jump to the question number 3 now. What you should be thinking? Remaining. Very good. Very good. Sampath. Side. Very good. 4 more minutes. 4 more minutes. I need to finish what I am doing for the question number 2 in 4 minutes. I need to finish what I am doing in question number 2 in 4 minutes. I have only 4 minutes to finish. Now it shows 10. I had 2 more minutes to finish. Now it's 8. Right time to go. Whether you're going to go or not is a different issue. But that's the right time to go. 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 Right? So you need to use that. If there are only 2 questions available, having 12 minutes, you need to jump to the next question. So when there are 15 minutes available, you know you have only 3 more minutes. Understood? The 3 minutes, did you understand? Did you understand 3 minutes? Should I repeat? If you want me to repeat, I can repeat, no problem. Did you understand the 3 minutes or should I need to repeat? Understood? Yes, yes, yes. No, no, no. Repeat. So depending on 2 or 3 questions available, you need to play the game. Write down the next one. Go to the next one. If there are 3 questions available, write down, write. If there are 3 questions available, 8 minutes to be allocated for the last question. 8 minutes to be allocated for the last question. Approximately, I'm saying, 8 minutes to be allocated for the last question. So when the remaining time is 12 minutes, and when you are in question number 2, when the remaining time is 12 minutes, when you are in question number 2, please know that you have only 4 minutes for question number 2. Please know that you have only 4 minutes for question number 2. When the remaining time is 12, and when you are in question number 2, please note that you have only 4 minutes to complete question number 2. Right? Next one. If there are only 2 questions, the last question will have only 12 minutes. Last question will have only 12 minutes. And always watch the remaining time and take decisions. Always watch the remaining time and take decisions. Okay. Side, you have a very valid point. I'll answer that. Don't worry, right? You have a very valid point. I'll answer that. Right? Now, what are the situations where this rule... Okay, have you written down the rule? Yes, no. Have you written down the rule? Okay. How many rules we have written down so far? How many rules we have written down so far? How many rules we have written down so far? How many rules we have written down so far? This is not a question that needs to study to answer, no, right? Does it? No, 4. Right, 4 questions. Right? So what I'm trying to tell you is, what I'm trying to tell you is, what I'm trying to tell you is, this rule will not be applicable in certain situations. The situation number one is, so what is my point? I don't know whether you got my point. So write down as a summary point there, write down a summary point where look at the remaining time and take decisions. Underline that. Look at the remaining time and take decisions. I don't know whether people do that or not. I think a lot of people don't do that. Look at the remaining time and take decisions. You take decisions. I want you to take decisions. Look at the remaining time and take decisions. Whatever the decisions I take, whatever the decision you take, I don't care. But take decisions. Take decisions. Some people don't take decisions by looking at the remaining time. They keep on writing the entire answer, question 1 right, 2 right, 3 right. Then suddenly when the examiner tells time is over, they say thank you very much, go to the next section. Don't go into that situation. Take decisions based on the remaining time. But what I said will not be applicable in certain situations. Can I tell you a situation? But then you can adjust it on the exam. There are 3 questions available. You read the first question, you read the second question, you read the third question. Very important for you to read all the questions before you answer question number 1. That is what you know, no? That you are aware, right? Very important for you to read all 3 questions before you answer question number 1. You are not going to read question number 1 and answer. You are not going to read question 2 and answer. Then you are not going to read question 3 and answer. You are not going to do that. That is understood now, my dear friends? You read all 3 questions. When you read all 3 questions, the question number 3 is like Chinese. When you read all 3 questions, question number 3 is like what? Chinese or like Japanese. Question number 3 is like Japanese and Chinese. Question number 3 is like a combination of Japanese and Chinese. I mean, if it is Chinese, you'd have understood the language and right. Japanese, you'd have understood that, but this is combination of Japanese and Chinese. You have not even heard of that question. You don't know. In such a case, you can take a conscious decision. Question number 3, no one understands. I don't understand. Let me allocate only 2-3 minutes for it. Let me use that time for question number 1. That's a conscious decision that you take. Then exact 8 minutes for question if there are 3 questions, 12 minutes for question if there are 2 questions. Rule will not be applicable. Are you clear? Exceptions are there. One of the exception is question number 3 you don't understand. When you don't understand, put less time. When you don't understand, put less time. When you don't understand, put less time. Then what is your game? Your game is question number 3 I don't understand. Very good. I will spend 2 minutes on question number 3, but I need to now take very high mark for question number 1 and very high mark for question number 2. So I'll allocate more time for question number 1, more time for question number 2, get about 80% right for question number 1, get about 80% right for question number 2, so I can cover the loss from question number 3. So I can cover the loss from question number 3. So I can cover the loss from question number 3. Are you clear? If you're not clear, you can tell me you're not clear. If you're not clear, you can tell me you're not clear. Okay. Can I ask a stupid question? Can I ask a stupid question? I think I have asked many stupid questions. No? Can I ask one of the most stupid questions? Can I ask a stupid question? Can I ask a stupid question? Can I? Okay. On the exam day, you need to get 60% marks to pass now, my dear. You need to get 60% marks to pass. Right? And assume there are 3 questions available. Assume there are 3 questions available. Assume there are 3 questions available. One of the ways to pass is, so I'm going slow. On the exam day, you need to get 60% of the marks to pass. 60% of the marks to pass. Right? One of the ways to pass is, question number 1, you get 60%. Question number 2 also you get 60%. Question number 3 also you get 60%. So total paper, total section, on average, you got 60% and pass. That method you are aware, right? That's obvious. No? That's obvious. Every question you get 60%. Very clear, right? Very clear. Are you clear? Okay. But there is a situation in your one of the sections of your exam day. One of the sections on the exam day, there is a very challenging situation. Question number 3, you can't pass. No chance. Question number 3, you can't pass. Question number 3, you can't pass. You feel that examiner will maximum give you 20% of the marks for the question number 3. You feel examiner will only give 20% marks to the question. That you don't even understand that question. You don't understand. You don't even understand that question. You look at and say, oh, this question difficult, difficult, difficult. I will only get 20%. No chance. I'll only get 20%. Okay. Are you clear so far? So far, should I repeat? So far, should I repeat? Are you clear? Anyone who wants me to repeat, please say repeat, 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 repeat. Repeat once is enough, right? Please say repeat so I can repeat. No one. Wow, this is a very good session. No, I like you guys. We should have met before. Okay, no one is telling me repeat. Okay, so now I'm going to ask a question and I'm going to give you 10 seconds to answer. Stupid question, I told you, no? Stupid question. So I'm going to ask a question and give 10 seconds to answer. I'm going to read the question once, twice, then give you 10 seconds to answer. I hope you are ready. On the exam day, if there are 3 questions available, general way to pass is to get 60% of the marks for the question number 1, 60% of marks for the question number 2, 60% for the mark for question number 3. So you get 60% for that section and pass. However, on the exam day, if there are 3 questions available and the question number 3 is horrible, you know you have not studied, you don't even understand the question, and if you feel you can only get 20% of the marks for the question number 3, only you feel you can get 20% of marks for the question number 3, how many marks should you take in average for question number 1 and for question number 2 as a percentage for you to pass? As a percentage for you to pass. I'm going to give you 10 seconds. So question number 3, you can get only 20%. 1 and 2, how many percent, what percentage of marks you should take in average for you to pass? I'm going to give you 10 seconds. Oh my gosh. People have already answered. You guys are very intelligent. You guys are more intelligent than me. 80 or 80% you are saying, right? The percentage, right? You should get 80%, right? Yeah, I asked the percentage. These are 80%. Perfect. Thank you very much. You guys are very intelligent. Huh? You should start a business. 80%. So 80, 80, 160. 160 for question number 1 and 2. Question number 3, 20. 160 plus 80 is 180. Divided by 3 is 60. What I'm trying to tell you? I'm trying to tell you 2 things. I don't know whether you understand or not. Now, looking like you guys, you will understand everything. I don't know whether you understand. 2 things. Huh? One is, even when one question is very difficult, you're not going to fail the exam. Who cares? Who cares? When one question is difficult, you laugh at it. When one question is difficult, you laugh at it. You say, one question, I'm not going to fail. Go to hell. I don't care. Give me 20%, I'm okay. One question is difficult, you're not going to fail because you can get 80%, 80, not 100, no, 80, 80. How can you get 80 for a question? Because you are allocating more time. You are allocating more time. 80, 80, 20 you can pass. So that's one method. Write it down. Write it down. One difficult question on the exam day will never fail you. Or actually 2 difficult questions on the exam day will never fail you. Even in a section I'm saying. So write down. 2 difficult questions on the exam day will never fail you. 2 difficult questions on the exam day will never fail you. So therefore, what you should do when you see a difficult question, you should laugh at the question. This is a difficult question. No? Yeah, I know. Always there will be 2 difficult questions. I'm not going to fail. Always there will be 2 difficult questions. I'm not going to fail. So you laugh at the question and say, okay, difficult question. You examiner, you are very smart examiner. You somehow found 2 questions that I don't know the answer. Fine. Keep the bloody questions with you. Give me 20%. I'm okay with it. 2 difficult questions will never fail you on the exam day. That's what you should think whenever you see a difficult question. That's what you should think whenever you see a difficult question. Do you think it will be helpful? Do you think it will be helpful to think like that on the exam day? Do you think it will be helpful? Do you think what I'm saying is helpful? Do you think what I'm saying is helpful? Others, you can say no. If you think no, you can say no. Others? 3 people think it's helpful. Others? Exam day, all what matters is how strong you are mentally. All that matters is how strong you are. A lot of people fail because they do stupid mistakes. If you're strong, if you think, difficult question, I don't care, I'm going to pass anyway. Having two difficult questions, I can pass. I don't care. If you think strong like that, you're going to pass. So please take it seriously. Did you write it down? Yes. Did you write it down? Yes. So I was trying to tell you two things. No, I can't remember the second one. First one is one difficult question. Two difficult questions will never fail you. Second one, write down next guideline. Next point. Always follow the marks. Always follow the marks. Write down. Your final objective is to get 60% of the marks for the paper. Your final objective is to get 60% marks for the paper. Your final objective is to get 60% marks for the paper. Come on. Keep counting marks. Keep assessing yourself whether you are reaching 60%. That's the game. I mean, I am the CEO of the company. I have been given annual profit target. We measure every week whether we are on track on the profit target or not. We measure every week whether we are on track on achieving profit target. That's the annual target as the CEO that I have. As a exam writer, you have 3 hours to get 60% of the marks. So keep counting. Every 10-15 minutes, argue yourself, am I on the 60% target? Trust me, it will be useful. Trust me, it will be useful. So those are the two guidelines. So am I confusing you now? There are two situations where there are 2 points to be learned. We have written it down. But why did I come here? I came here because that rule of 8 marks, 8 minutes for question or 12 minutes for question will not be applicable when you know one question is difficult. So we have talked about. Other one, when you look at the marks average, it is absolutely out. I mean, if it is 30 and 40, it doesn't make a difference. But if there's one question only 20% marks, then you can adjust it accordingly. Okay, so go back. We need to finish 1 hour, right? I promised to finish in 1 hour. I don't know whether I can finish in 1 hour. Answers been insufficiently described. Why? Answers been insufficiently described. Why? Simply because the points from the pre-seen and unseen are not taken and not included into your answer strong. That is exactly why this committee is coming. So this is 2015. Can you go to 2020 in new syllabus? Can you go to 2020 in new syllabus? This is 2020 February. 2020 February. I can take the last time one. Look, these are the points that is given by the examiner. 2020, huh? New. Very new. Okay. Now, can you please read it? Can you please read it? Can you please read it? Now. Gaps in the technical knowledge. Number 1, insufficient or unclear explanation. Insufficient or unclear, you are not using the information properly given. You are not basing your arguments logically with the information given. Answers unrelated to the scenario. You are writing completely general point. Insufficient. Insufficient use of pre-seen and unseen information. Misunderstanding. Examiner also now putting it more clearly. Misunderstanding or missing the exam requirement. These are the reasons why did people fail even in new syllabus. There is no difference why people fail in the old syllabus case study. There is no difference why people fail in the new syllabus case study. Even if you read the last time examiner's report, the points will be exactly the same. So now, unless you correct this, no point of you talking. No point of you and me talking. No, my dear. What a shame. Examiner continuously saying that these are the reasons why people fail. You continuously do the same mistakes and fail. So avoid these mistakes so you can pass. Avoid those mistakes and you can pass. Are you clear? So now careful. Okay, write down the next one. Improving typing speed is a must. Write the next one. So can I ask you a question? What is your WPM? Janit, 2080 is very good. I know I asked this question before. Abhinesh, 32 is amazing. Amila, 35 to 40 is lovely. Isuri, 35 is great. 34 is great. So this one, I know I asked this question on the first, but there are new people available. I mean, your typing speed is very, very good, which means, which means you need to do your maths. Okay, have you done your maths? Okay, what is the maths? Okay, uh, how many words should you write on the exam day in your answer for all four sections? How many words? How many words you should have written for you to easily pass? You should have written for you to easily pass. How many words? No one knows? Very bad. How many words you should write for the entire exam paper for you to get a decent pass? How many words? How many words? Don't know? You say don't know. If you know, tell me how many words. Burgianeva. So interesting answers. Don't know, don't know, don't know, no idea, no idea, no idea. I think, huh? 950 words. Oh, I think if you write about uh, if you write about 2,400 words, good enough. If you write about 2,400 words, good enough. Now, don't tell me, sir, I went to the exam, you told me to write 2,400 words. I did write 2,405 words. How comes I'm failing? Not like that. No, man, no. No. You can't write in a stupid way. You can't write the same word 2,400 times and expect it to pass. No. So it's not a word count. But ideally, some idea is nice to have. 2,400 words you can easily pass. 2,400 words you can easily pass. So can someone divide 2,400 by 4 and tell me how many words for a section? Can someone divide 2,400 by 4 and tell me how many words for a section? 600 words per section. Okay. Earlier we did work out something. I don't know whether you remember. I am sure you do remember. I am sure you do remember. Earlier we worked out how many minutes are available for you to type. Can you remember? How many minutes are available for you to type? Can you remember how many minutes? How many minutes? How many minutes? Now tell me what your word, sorry, you need to write 600 words for a section. You know you have 25 minutes available to type. Then tell me what the WPM requirement, words per minute requirement, for each minute how many words you should type. Each minute how many words you should type. Everyone please join, contribute. I can't see Chaturi is silent, Amila is silent, Husni seems to be very, very silent. You guys are here, you are doing the OCS exams, right? Am I on the right group? Okay. How many words you should be typing? 24. So if you can type 32, who cares? If you can type 32, who cares? If you can type 32, who cares? This means what? This means what? This means what? This means you're going to pass the exam. Unless you do a complete stupid mistake. If you screw it up, that's the only way to fail. You screw it up is the only way. Of course, if you don't know the theory knowledge, which I will address now. If you don't know the theory knowledge, you're going to fail. Very happy. You can be happy about it. I don't know the key theories, therefore I fail. I'll be happy, you will be happy. So we need to fix that theory knowledge. How many days for the exams? How many more days for the exams? How many more days for the exams? Depending on the individual people, right? Depending on what date they're going to do the exam. How many days for the exams? Some have 4 days, some have 3 days, some have 4 days, some have 2 days. If you can allocate about 9 hours, you can cover all the theories available. Who cares? If you have 3 days enough, that's good enough. You don't know the theories, no problem. Allocate 9 hours, we can teach all the theories. E1, P1, F1, all the theories. Accounting standard, we can teach everything. New technologies, IoT, artificial intelligence, cloud computing, we can teach everything. Value chain, all that. So don't worry. If you don't know the theory, we can cover it up. We will. If you want, we will. If you want, I will. Right? We'll agree a time there. You can call me to clarify any. Of course, you should call me and say, sir, now you start with the E1, teach me entire E1. Not like that. No, you have done some work. But if you go through So can I keep that discussion? Oh, can I finish it? Technical knowledge, if you don't have, then you are doing a stupid mistake. But then don't worry. Anyone who thinks your technical knowledge is strong enough, technical knowledge strong enough is what are the accounting standards that will be tested? So I'm jumping the gun. I'm going to a different topic. I'll come to the word count very soon. But you guys seems to be very intelligent. Therefore, I don't think you will get confused. I'm jumping the gun to the technical knowledge and come to the word count soon. So can I do that? You don't get confused, right? You are very intelligent. I can see you guys seems to be very intelligent. You should come with me to do MCS very fast and SCS very fast. Okay. So can I ask a question? What are the accounting standards that will be tested on the exam day? Give me the list of accounting standards that will be tested on the exam day. Give me the accounting standards that will be tested on the exam day. Okay. So some people have written IA 60. IA 60. So IA 60. Now, so people have given the list of accounting. So I'm going to talk about these accounting standards for a little while now as well. I'm going to talk about the accounting standards. So what I'm going to say is, I'm going to talk about these accounting standards. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, your technical knowledge is not good. When I talk about these accounting standards, you're looking at my, what is this I have never heard of? Then your technical knowledge is not good. If your technical knowledge is not good, what's the situation? Good situation. Allocate 9 hours to know E1, P1, F1 entirely, then you can pass. You have 3 days for the exam. Who cares? Who cares, right? So I'm going to talk about these accounting standards. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, then your technical knowledge is not good. That's the first reason why people fail. That's the first reason why people fail. So we need to allocate 9 hours to do that. 9 hours can be allocated starting from now. By tomorrow early morning, you can cover it up. You don't need to sleep in the last 3 days, right? Okay. I should okay, right? So let me talk about these accounting standards. On the exam day, there are accounting standards that are available that are talking about assets. Like they do talk about assets. The accounting standards are available about assets. Like what? Like IAS 2, like IAS 16. IAS 2 and 16 are the accounting standards that are written for assets. IAS 2 is for inventory. IAS 16 is for property, plant and equipment. Both accounting standards are about assets. The beauty is, both these accounting standards are for assets and both these accounting standards are for tangible assets. However, there is an accounting standard for intangible assets as well. However, there is an accounting standard for intangible assets as well. What's the accounting standard number for intangible assets? What's the accounting standard number for intangible assets? There's accounting standard for intangible assets as well. What's the accounting standard number for intangible assets? What's the accounting standard for IAS 38? IAS 38 is the accounting standard for intangible. So what is given in IAS 2 and IAS 16? They are tangible assets. What is given? IAS 2 says inventory should be valued at cost and NRV, which means always inventory should be valued at cost. NRV will generally be higher. NRV will generally be higher. Just because NRV is higher, you cannot value inventory at a higher price than the cost. Even when NRV is higher, net realizable value is higher, the inventory needs to be valued at cost. The rule is inventory needs to be valued at cost to NRV, whichever is lower. Cost and NRV, whichever is lower. So if the NRV comes down compared to the cost, which means NRV is lower, cost is high, then the inventory needs to be valued at NRV. Then the inventory needs to be valued at NRV. That's a rule available. So basic guideline is to value at cost. When the NRV is lower, you need to reduce the inventory. When the inventory value comes down, profit will come down. Inventory value comes down, profit will come. So NRV is low means what? NRV low means I can sell this inventory at a lower price. Then accounting standards will tell me take the loss. Whenever you know that there is a loss, take the loss. Whenever you know that there is a loss, take the loss. That is what you call the prudent concept. You always need to be prudent. You always, in the accounting standards, in doing the accounts, you need always to be prudent. Whenever you know NRV is less, take the loss. Whenever you know NRV is higher, that's a profit. Don't take. Profits are to be taken only when realized. Losses, whenever you know there could be a loss, you take it. That's what you call the prudent concept is. IAS 16 is fun. IAS 16 is talking about property, plant and equipment. Property, plant and equipment, initial recognition should be at cost. Property, plant and equipment, initial recognition should be at cost. When you buy a property, plant and equipment, you need to record it at cost. You need to capitalize and record it at cost. You can take not only the cost of the asset, you can take something else. What is that? You don't need to take only the cost of the asset. You can take something else. What is that? You can capitalize not only the cost of the asset, you can capitalize cost of the asset and all the cost incurred, to bring that property, plant and equipment to the present condition and present location can be capitalized. All the cost incurred to bring that asset to the present condition and present location can be capitalized. You buy a machine in Germany. Germany to your country, you ship it. The shipping cost can be capitalized. When you bring the machine, you have to do a big house to keep the machine. That house can be capitalized with the machine if you want. Because that's a part of the machine. If you think it's a part of the machine. So all those can be capitalized. IAS 16 will tell you. However, IAS 16 will tell you, if you want, you can revalue. But you can't revalue in the way that you like it. You have 100 vehicles. Let's say I have 100 vehicles. I don't have 100 vehicles. As an example, I have 100 vehicles. 25 vehicles, prices go up. 75 vehicles, prices come down. Can I revalue only the 25 vehicles? Can I revalue only the 25 vehicles? No. IAS 16 is very, very clear. If you're going to revalue, you need to revalue the entire what? What's the word? If you're going to revalue, you need to revalue the entire, what's the word? If you're going to revalue, you need to revalue the entire, very good, I'm very happy, class of assets. Entire class of assets, all the vehicles, you can't revalue what is. So revaluation reserves cannot be taken to P&L. Revaluation reserve should be sitting in the balance sheet as a revaluation reserve. When you sell it, you can take it to the P&L. When you sell it, you can take it to the P&L. Depreciation needs to be done. I mean, without doing depreciation, then your profit and loss statement is wrong. You buy motor vehicles and you gain revenue from that. The motor vehicle cost is not in the P&L. The motor vehicle cost is in the balance sheet domain. So from the balance sheet, you need to take it to the P&L. Matching concept. What is matching concept? Revenue and the cost of revenue needs to be matched in the same period. Revenue and the cost of revenue needs to be matched in the same period. So vehicles needs to be depreciated. Property, plant and equipment needs to be depreciated. That's a rule in IAS 16. That's a rule in IAS 16. However, whenever you realize value of all your assets has come down, you need to reduce the value of all of your assets. That is not coming from IAS 16. There's another accounting standard available. Which accounting standard will tell you, if you think there is a reduction of value of all your assets, you need to recognize that loss. You need to recognize that if you feel there's a reduction of the value of the assets, then you need to do a test and you need to write down the carrying value of the assets up to the recoverable value of the asset. What the hell is carrying value of the asset? Carrying value of the asset is the value at which asset is represented in the financial statement. Carrying value of the asset is the value at which asset is represented in the financial statement. Carrying value of the asset is high, recoverable value of the asset is low, carrying value needs to bring down to the recoverable value. Are you clear? Carrying value is in the balance sheet, what is the value of it? Recoverable value, how much you can recover. If you can recover more, don't worry. If you can recover less, difference needs to be charged to P&L. This is what you call that charge? What do you call that charge? Very good. IAS 36 impairment. IAS 30. So IAS 16 is directly linked to IAS 36. IAS 16 is directly linked to IAS 36. IAS 16 is directly linked to IAS 36 because IAS 16 is charging the assets into the P&L in a systematic manner. IAS 16 is charging the value of the asset to the P&L in a systematic manner. That is what you call depreciation. But if there is a reduction, if there is an indication of the impairment, then the impairment test needs to be carried out. After the impairment test, if you feel carrying value is high, recoverable value is low, the difference needs to be charged to P&L. That is coming from IAS 36. So IAS 16 and IAS 36 are directly linked to each other. IAS 2 and IAS 16 are linked to each other. They are the accounting standards for the physical assets, tangible assets. IAS 16 is directly linked to the IAS 36. Then IAS 38 is on the other side. IAS 38 is on the other side. Right? So if you don't understand this kind of theories, then your technical knowledge is not good. So what you need to do? Write down. Prepare a list of all the technical points from E1, P1, F1. Prepare a list of all the technical points from E1, P1, F1. Write down. Prepare a list of all the technical points from E1, P1, F1. Tick one by one if you know. Tick one by one if you know. If you don't know, call Channa at 0094 777 398 996. Quickly go through everything. If you are not clear, send me a message and call me. List down all the theory knowledge from the E1, P1, F1. Go through one by one. If you know, tick them. If you don't know, call Channa at 0094 777 398 996. Technical matter you need to clear because people say you failed due to technical knowledge. So you can't go. Now go back to the, I don't know whether you're confused now. Go back to the questions matter, the timing matter. Now I don't know whether you even remember. How many words we should write for a section? Can you remember? How many words you should write for a section? How many words you should write for a section? How many words you should write for a section? Very good, 600. How many minutes available to write 600 words? How many minutes available to write 600 words? How many minutes available to write 600 words? 25. So what should be the WPM required to pass? What should be the WPM required to pass? 24. So who cares? If your WPM is above 30, you're going to pass anyway unless you screw it up. So don't screw it up. How to screw it up? You misread the questions. Don't do that. Right. Now, if this is the maths, allocate more time to read the questions and understand the questions. Allocate more time to read the questions and understand the questions. Write down the next step. Write down next. If your WPM is more than 25, if your WPM is more than 25, if your WPM is more than 25, please allocate more time to read and understand the ER. Please allocate more time to read and understand the ER. If you want 10 minutes, take 10 minutes. Who cares? Who cares? So write down for the same. Read ER 5 times. Each ER 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not like that. You read the ER 5 times. Write down for the same thing. Explain the ER to yourself in your own language. I don't know whether you understand that. Explain the ER to yourself in your own language. I don't know if you understand. Do you understand? What are the risks available in going ahead with this project? Question is that. What are the risks available in going ahead with this project? Try to convert it to your own language and explain to yourself. What are the risks available in going ahead with this project? Yes. What's the question? What are the risks available for going ahead with this project? They are asking me the negatives of going ahead this project. Oh, no. No, what they're asking are risks. No. When I go ahead this project, what could go wrong? What are the things that can get wrong when I go ahead with this project? Oh, why should I not go ahead with this? That's what they're asking. So now, did you see? Same question. Now you have 3 questions. The question is, what are the risks of going ahead with this? Now you're saying, why should I not go ahead? Same question. When I go ahead, what could go wrong? Same question. When you try to explain the question to yourself, you get much better idea about it. You get much better idea about it. So always try to explain the question to ER to yourself. Take your time. If your WPM is more than 25, you have enough time. Take more time on the exam requirement. Read each ER 5 times. Explain each ER to yourself. Unless you're 100% sure, you don't need to start. The student next to you may have already started. Who cares? You can type faster than him. So let him start early and fail. You start when you understood very well, because no point of starting if you don't understand the question anyway. On the exam day, is there a risk of people not understanding the question? Is there a risk? If there's no risk, no point of me talking, no? On the exam day, is there a risk of people not understanding the question or not? Is there a risk? Do you think there's a risk? Examiner is saying 2020 syllabus, misunderstanding the exam requirement. That's why people fail. So don't go into that risk. My gosh, if your WPM is 30, there's no reason why you to misunderstand any question. You can take any number of minutes that you need. Still you can pass. But only way to screw it up is you are in a hurry to start answering questions. Don't be in a hurry to start answering questions. So that's one side of the story. Okay. So this is what I want to do in the first 1 hour. Unfortunately, I've taken more than 1 hour. I had taken 9 minutes more. Generally, I don't, but I was trying to say a lot of other things. Okay. So my name is Channa Gunawardhan. My name is Channa Gunawardhan. I'm the lead lecturer for Nanaska. I'm on the SEMA Global Council in UK, so I get involved with the Global Council work very, very often. We have next meetings in South Africa. Last meetings were in UK, which I did not go because I was busy. But I will try to go for the next meeting. So I'm the CEO for Dankoto Porcelain, which is a public listed company. So I share my experience as a CEO for MCS and SCS. That's why a lot of people pass. So I'm Channa Gunawardhan. Okay. This is the end of the first part. Relax, relax. Okay. What did I, what, sorry, can I put it right? The part that I did so far, is it useful? Is it beneficial? Do you think it's worth that you came? Or you are thinking, Ayo, Abhidan, no idea. Was it useful? Was it beneficial? Or you think it's a waste of time? If it's a waste of time, I'm happy. But don't forget, this is what the examiners comment on. 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 So this is what we should try to correct ourselves. So my question, do you think it's useful? Do you think it's useful that you came for the session? What I said, is it useful? Not useful. If you say not useful, I'm happy. I'm okay. Do you think is it useful or not? So if you think it's useful, then I'm happy. If you are thinking it's useful, then I'm happy. So take a little rest, take a little break, 1 minute, 2 minutes break you should take. The theory knowledge, you should do the test that I told you seriously and call me back if you have any difficult areas. My job is to help you. My job is to help you. My job is to ensure that you pass. My job is to ensure that you pass. Nanaska is all about that. Nanaska is to ensure that you pass. Okay. Will there be a risk that in the May and August 2022 examiners report, in the May and August 2022 examiners report, the reasons why we fail are different, right? I have now in front of me examiners report for the last session, right? Can I read few serious things from it? Failed to relate their answers to the task scenario and specifics of the case study. Same, no? Failed to relate their answers to the task scenario and specific of the case study. Failed to relate their answers to the task. People write unwanted things. They are not related to the pre-scene. They are not related to unseen. Explain issues without clarity. For you to give the clarity, you need to relate to the pre-scene. Otherwise, you can't give clarity. Identified issues and points rather than explain. Just write you don't explain the points, just summary. Demonstrate some technical understanding, but with the gaps of the knowledge. This is what examiner is saying so far. So that's my first part. My second part, I wanted to look at the numbers given in the pre-C. I wanted to look at the numbers given in the pre-C. I don't know whether I have enough time to do that. I promised 1 hour. I have already taken more time. Can I quickly take 15 minutes to do the numbers, or you don't need? All right. Can I quickly take 15 minutes to do the numbers if you don't mind? Oh. Is this the financial statement of your company? Is this the financial statement of your company? When you look at it, do you realize this is your company, or you think you're not sure? Is this the financial statement of your company? Right? Right or wrong? Okay. Let's go through now. Let's go through now, right? Uh, uh, So let's go through now. Okay, so I'm not going to take a lot of time, my dear friends. I'll take about 10-15 minutes, right? So don't worry. But you can call me on the technical knowledge at any time. I'm serious what I said. My number that I have given is my right number. My wrong number as well. This is the right number. Okay. Extract from the financial statement of profit and loss account year ended 30th June 2022. Revenue, wow, 72 million to 76 million. 72 million to 76 million. So revenue has grown up, revenue has increased by 5%. Remember the revenue as 76 million, right? Remember the net profit as 5 million. I don't think you will forget it, right? I think it will be useful. Revenue as 76 million, profit as 5 million, it will be useful. Where you can use that knowledge? Tell me one place where you can use that knowledge. When the net profit is 5 million, where you can use it? Or revenue is 76 million. Where do you think you can use it on the exam day? I like you guys because you guys seem to be very intelligent. Than my SCS students, you guys are intelligent. So I'm taking more time. I should not do that. Where you can use it? I mean, 1,000 different places you can use it. We are trying to go for a new product. We are trying to go for a new product. Or we are trying to go into a new country. We are trying to spend 10 million. You can always tell the examiner 10 million. Don't forget, my annual profit is 5 million. You can relate it. You can relate it. We are trying to go for a new product in overseas country. You think you can generate a revenue of 8 million. You can always say, look here, our revenue now is 76 million. If this is going to give us 8 million revenue, it's slightly over 10%. Did you see? Are you clear? Are you clear? If you are clear, can you say clear? These numbers needs to be used in your answer. If you are clear, can you say clear? These numbers needs to be used in the answer. Okay. Revenue has increased by 5%. Profit has increased by 9%. My gosh. Revenue has increased by 5%. Profit has increased by 9%, which means what? When the revenue goes up by 5%, if the profit has gone up by 9%, net profit margin must have improved. Net profit, otherwise it can't happen. When revenue goes up by 5%, if the net profit goes up by 5%, margin would be what? Let's say revenue goes up by 5%. Net profit also goes up by 5%. Then your net profit margin would be what? Would go up or come down? Your revenue goes up by 5%. Your net profit also goes up by 5%. Then your net profit margin would go up or would come down? Your net profit margin will remain the same. Your net profit margin will remain the same. Here, when revenue goes up by 5%, net profit goes up by 9%, your net profit margin must have improved. Your net profit margin must have improved. However, the danger, however, I can see, I'm sure you can see as well, when revenue goes up by 4%, cost of sales goes up by 5%, which means GP should have come down. Gross profit margin should have come down. Gross profit margin should have come. So that's fine. Even though gross profit margin should have come down, net profit margin should have gone up. Net profit margin should have gone up. So we have an operating profit here. We have a selling and distribution, slightly more than last year. Admin cost is a fixed cost, no my dear. Admin cost is a fixed cost. So admin cost going up by 2%. When the sales goes up by 5% is 2. Admin cost need not go up. Admin cost is remain the same, right? Finance cost is not a function of sales. Finance cost is a function of the loans available. So finance cost has gone up from 225 to 263. Oh my gosh. Big increase in the finance cost. Big increase in the finance cost. I need to double check. 16% increase in the finance cost. I need to double check. 16% increase in the finance cost. But that can only be seen with the bank loans available. So I should go to the balance sheet and see the bank loans available. What has happened to the bank loan? So maybe we can go and check that and finish it off. Borrowing. My gosh, borrowing has not gone up. Borrowing has not gone up. And the borrowing and lease liability has increased only by 5%. Total, when you put it together, it has gone up by 5%. That means what? Interest cost must have gone up. No. For the interest cost to go up and the loans to go by here, interest cost to go up by 16%, loans to go up by 5%, interest rate must have gone up. Interest rate must have gone up. Okay, interest rate must have gone up. So we need to think about it. Property, plant and equipment. Wow, very good. Huh? Property, plant and equipment has not gone up. Property, plant and equipment actually has come down, which means what? We have generated more revenue, not from having more property, plant and equipment. We are using the property, plant and equipment more effectively. We are using the property, plant and equipment more effectively. Which ratio is that? Can you tell me the ratio that is used to see how effectively we are using the property, plant and equipment? Can you tell me what is the ratio that we use to see how effectively we are using the property, plant and equipment? What do you call that ratio? What do you call that ratio? No, asset turnover ratio. Asset turnover ratio is turnover divided by assets. How many times of assets are in the sales? How many times of assets in the sales? So I am sure asset turnover ratio must have gone up. Asset turnover ratio must have gone up. Right of use of asset is the lease assets. We have doubled the lease assets. That means we are leasing more and more assets. That means we are leasing more and more assets. We are leasing more and more assets. Based on IFRS 16, asset lease needs to be capitalized. We don't care whether you own the assets or not. If you lease it, you need to capitalize it. So inventory has gone up by 5%. That means what? Revenue also went up by 5%. By what percentage cost of sales went up? By what percentage cost of sales went up? Cost of sales went up by 5.8%. When cost of sales went up by 5.8%, revenue, inventory also going up by 5.8%. That means the inventory holding period would have been the same. Trade receivable. Trade receivable, can it be possible? Revenue goes up by 5%, receivable goes up by 17%. Tell me what must have happened. Revenue goes up by 5%, trade receivable, debtors goes up by 16%, 17%. Tell me what must have happened. Tell me what must have happened. Tell me revenue goes up by 5%. Debtors go up by 16%, 17%. Tell me what may have happened. Tell me what may have happened. Debtors collection period must have increased. Debtors collection period must have increased. Debtors collection period must have increased, which means what? Either customers are paying much lower than usual. Either customers are paying much lower than usual. Or I may have extended what? Or I may have extended what? I may have extended what? Either I may have extended something or customers are paying me much lower. I may have extended the credit period or customers are paying lower. Either way, it's a risky situation. Either way, it's a risky situation. Either way, it's a risky situation. So we'll go back to the ratios available. You will go back to the ratios available. Can you see the receivable days? Wow. This is what we have been talking so far, no? 40 days last year, 45 days this year. So either we have given more credit or customers are simply not paying on time. Maybe customers are unhappy with us. Maybe customers are in financial difficulty. They are taking more time to pay. Or we have given more credit. Why the hell did we give more credit? Why did we give more credit? My working capital is stuck now. My working capital is stuck because 58 days was the last year. Working capital requirement was 58 days of the money that I needed to run the business. This time is 62 days, mostly because of receivable days has gone up. Can you remember we said cost of sales has gone up by what percentage? Can you remember? Cost of sales has gone up by what percentage? Can you remember? 5%. Inventory also went up by 5%. Can you remember? Inventory also went up by 5%. Then what did we say? When the cost of sales go up by 5%, inventory went up by 5%, what would remain the same? What would remain the same? When cost of sales go by 5%, inventory goes up by 5%, inventory days we said remain the same. Can you see? Inventory days are remaining the same. We did say net profit margin should have gone up. We did say net profit margin should have gone up. Simply because revenue went up by 5%, net profit went up by 9%. Therefore, we said net profit margin should have gone up. I can see net profit margin should have. We said cost of sales has gone up by a higher percentage than the increase in sales. Therefore, we said GP margin must have come down. Yes, GP margin has come down. GP margin has come down, right? So you can't memorize numbers. You need to live in numbers, then you understand things well. So this is what I want. Since I have only 1.5 hours, I promise 1 hour, now I take 1.5 hours. So I want to wish you all the very best for exams. It's going to be a reasonable paper. It will look difficult. Who cares? The question exam paper should look difficult. Why exam papers should look difficult? Because exams are not there every day, no? So exam papers are coming once in 3 months. They should look difficult. And the pass mark is 60%. When the pass mark is 60%, paper looking difficult is fine. So when you look the difficult paper, you start laughing and smiling and say, ha ha ha, that's good. Difficult paper is good. Pass mark is 60%, so I should not worry. Pass mark is 60%, I should not have a positive feel. I am sure I've done so much of work with 7 mock papers available. That's what we do for OCS, MCS, SCS. So therefore, you have done enough work. I don't think there's anyone who is going to the exam with the lower workload that we have done with you. Or if you are joined for the revision, I'm sure you have done a lot of work. So I want to wish you all the very best for the exams. I know exams are starting soon. I want to come and talk to you guys. Wish you all the very best. Please be in touch with me. Anything that you need help. My job is to ensure you guys get all the help that is required. So whenever you need help, please give me a call. I'm here for you. Thank you very much. All the very best for the exams. Goodbye. Good night.